Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Transamerica made some changes. Basically, the good and the bad, and I'll get into more information about their product. The good and the bad really is that they dropped their prices. No one else has done this before, at least not in our industry the way they did it. When they changed their product 2 years ago, what happened was they became one of the more expensive companies. At that point, nobody started, people dropped them. People stopped using them. There was no value as being an independent agent to use them. They had a long application. They made it longer. So they really kind of killed the product. I guess they took this opportunity. Last year, the mortality numbers ended up being a lot higher than what we thought, partially due to the health thing. And so now what's going on is these companies are all looking at each other going, hey, we have no option but to raise prices. And that's what's going to be happening across the industry. There's some companies that already recently did their rate hikes. Maybe if they did it in the past 2 years, they're not going to increase their prices for a while, but other companies already started raising their rates. So it's unprecedented what Transamerica did here. They basically said, no, we want back in the game. The good is Transamerica, their product is now really competitive. It's like priced a little bit better in most cases than Mutual of Omaha's final expense product. The negative is, and let me just say this, and I'll get into this, we'll mention more about this, is they did cut your renewal commission. So what we know is the renewals are a lot lower. So where it was, they were like everybody else, 5, 6, depending on, on where you're at, 5, 6%-ish for the second and third year renewals and so on. Now it's like 2%. It's so you know what? Look, final expense renewals aren't huge. As far as Medicare, we do have a Medicare training platform, and it's really intense. We're doing Zoom calls. There's 2 Zoom calls weekly. On the first Zoom call is basically tips from top producers, and the guys that we got doing this, it's crazy. I mean, they're doing 10 to 15 plus applications a week. These are the producers, and our lead program is designed to get those people that are the low income folks that you can sell 12 months a year. So you can't. It's not just an open enrollment or annual enrollment product that we sell. We're selling the stuff all year long. We got the 2 Zoom calls. The first one is the top producers interview and talking with the top producer, and the second one is basically we do an 8-week training, which you'll have access. Like if you jumped on this Thursday, it's going to be week 5. So, but you'll have access to all that stuff. And guys, just to be clear, you do have to be on our platform. You have to have your contracts with us. Our website has like crazy full videos, all kinds of sales material, like how to use different sales material. I mean, it's really, really amazing. You can ride with a top producer. If you get on the leads program, you'll be able to ride with one of our guys. May not have one in your state, but we'll find you somebody, and not just somebody that's selling, but somebody that's selling a lot, someone who's really good at it. So I did my AHIP last week. I passed it on the first shot. I studied maybe 10 hours. I can teach you how to do that. Those of you who've been in the business know that that's not a lot, but it's just I've got a technique that I use to pass it on the first shot, and it really works. And that's something that I would work with you guys. And we do have direct mail leads. These aren't like final expense where they're kind of generic and I wonder the client's thinking, is this free? What is this exactly? It's not like that. These leads are very clear that you may qualify for more Medicare benefits. For more information on our plans, please fill out the form. And an agent will, they're really clear about us contacting you. So the closing rate on those things are really, really high. Average agents are closing 1 out of 3. Producers are closing half of them. So the direct mail leads, the way the credit works, they're $25 leads. And for every sale, MAPD sale you make, no one else is doing this. We're giving you 3 leads. So like literally, if you're a final expense agent, you've got clients, you go make your first sales off your clients. We teach you how to do that because your book of business is what you need to be selling. They already trust you. It's the way to sell. You hit your book of business up, you sell, make some sales, and we'll start dropping mail. We've got agents that are doing 20, 30 leads a week. That's what the producers are doing. The producers are doing 30 plus mailers a week. You won't have to pay a penny for those as long as you're selling. Remember, we're giving you 3 leads for every sale that you make. So just keep that in mind. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. So Transamerica, real quick, some things I like about them. The reasons I like them is the same reasons I like everybody else that we write. They do the true Social Security billing. They take direct express cards, which is nice. And now that they changed their rates, they're super competitive, and they are priced in most cases better than the Mutual of Omaha product. So the difference between Mutual of Omaha and Transamerica in big ways is that Mutual of Omaha doesn't take direct express cards or debit cards. Mutual of Omaha does not do true Social Security billing either. So right there, boom, I love them. They also, Transamerican, I just wanted to touch on this. They have other competitive products. They got the final expense product. It's not good for telesales, in my opinion, because you got to do the email. You got to email the client the signature. Once you do the app, Transamerica emails the client the signature. So I'm talking to the customer service guy, and it's funny, this guy's been with them for a couple of years, so I got the right guy. Anybody who knows Transamerica knows you can call them, you can ask the same question to 2 different customer service people, and they'll tell you 2 different answers. So this guy knew his stuff. It was good. And the thing that he said that kind of like it's just like always sticks in my head is, when I told him, I said, I asked him, telesales, what's required? How's the signature work? And he's flat out said, he's like, well, we do the email, we send it to them, they got to click on it. He said, yeah, I'm told a lot of times that the clients have a hard time doing that signature with the email. So just to me, that's just one more reason. Unfortunately for telesales, forget about trans. Unless your client is really computer savvy and you've got another method, you've got a better way to get the signature, okay, fine. They do have a very competitive, fully underwritten term product. My wife applied for Ultra Preferred. She gave the client last week. She sold one of these. She gave the client preferred rates just in case. She applied for the Ultra Preferred. Of course, they do the blood test. They take the client's, they check the client. They do the whole health exam with the client, and he's got high blood pressure now that he didn't know he had. So it worked out for her. So my point is, use your head when you do this. These folks, they love to tell you how super healthy they are and how they don't go to the doctor. The fact the guy had high blood pressure tells me he's probably got other stuff going on. And if he doesn't start going to the doctor, he's going to have other stuff going on. They've got a couple of different, they have one good UL product that writes a fully underwritten, builds a lot of cash value. It's available in certain states. I sold one to a friend of mine's girlfriend like 5 years ago, and it does really good. They don't have that in Florida anymore, the product that we sold. So it's different. Now, they also have a 10-pay, which is nice. Those of you who like selling the 10-pay, very nice. Can you sell it over the phone? Not sure. Like I said, not sure if you'd want to anyways, but it's a 10-pay. To me, the 10-pay products are great for the younger people, They'll make payments. They get a $10,000 policy, and they only end up paying $5,000 or $6,000 into it, and that's it. It's paid up. So that's why we like the 10 pays. The Transamerica Final Expense product line is called the Final Expense Solutions. So you've got your immediate solutions, which is the standard, preferred and standard prices, and then you've got the the graded solutions. I can't remember what it's called. They did change the way they underwriting. They're underwriting stricter than what it used to be, but now you can write a 2-year-old to an 85-year-old. You can go down as little as $1,000 in face amount, which is nice. And for the younger people, they can get up to $50,000. So it has some cool riders. It has the accelerated death benefit rider, also a nursing home accelerated benefit rider, the accidental death benefit rider, and the children's or grandchildren's benefit rider. So what I used to do when I used to write this product, and I would walk into a house and like, especially grandma takes care of the grandkids, and that's who I'm writing. That's when I make it sound like a family policy. I like, that's when I'll use that accidental death benefit rider, and I'll get the grandkids on there too. So, cause it's only like a few bucks. So something to think about, something to look forward to for those of you who may be interested in writing this product. And I'm going to tell you when you want to write it and when you don't want to write it. The e-app, I did one on myself real fast on the computer. I rushed through it, took me 20 minutes. So doing it on myself. Keep that in mind. So if you're with a client, 30 minutes, probably going to be more realistic. 3-4 hours later, I get an email from Transamerica saying I'm approved as applied for. So I thought that was interesting because that's not how they used to do it. They used to go into underwriting 2-3 days later, you'd find out. Actually, 2-3 days later, you'd find out that you're missing something or that they want something else. That's the classic trans. The Transamerica's nickname is Trans Amendment, okay, for a reason. But it was nice that when I wrote it on myself, it went through fast. So just to be clear, guys, I was on warfarin just a couple years ago. Came back from a convention in Thailand and got in a car the next day to go sell some insurance, did a 2-hour drive there, and on the way back, after a 10-hour day, my leg started blowing up on me, blood clots. So they gave me applied preferred, and so it was nice to see that they're kind of paying attention because it had been over 2 years since I took the warfarin anyways. The paper application, they always had a long application. They made it like 26 pages a couple years ago when they changed the product. Now it's down to 20 pages. When I spoke with the customer service guy, he told me something that I like to hear. I was very happy to hear. He told me that, they worked on it. He said, don't worry, the e-app, it's not like it was a year ago. He said that the paper application is not as long as it was a year ago, but I know it still takes like at least 5 or 6 signatures. So beware of that. It's kind of weird. When do you want to use them? They did tighten up since I was using them a couple years ago. They did tighten up on the underwriting, but we have to revisit that now because now, they're competitive. They dropped the price. That's another key. See, in states like Florida, we are limited. You guys have other products in some of your states that I can't use if I want to go sell. So to me, Transamerica is kind of really nice to have now. That's one more replacement option. That gives me one more product to work with. So I love that. I'm not going to lead with them. You don't want to. Now the underwriting's too strict. There's more reasons not. Their standard rates are kind of expensive, like insulin. It goes to standard. It goes from preferred to standard. Their standard rates are, they're competitive with like other companies, but it's still standard. It's not preferred. So like Mutual of Omaha, for instance, is going to blow their price away on the standard, because of the way Mutual of Omaha takes insulin, for example. But here's when you look. To me, this is when you use them. Replacement scenarios. Your client pulls out a Direct Express card. Transamerica, there's a separate website that you have to go to create a token. So you put their Direct Express card number in, you type it in, and then it gives you a token number. It gives you it adds a few numbers. It's weird what it does. The guy that I was speaking with in customer service was telling me that he thinks you can do that same token thing with a credit card or debit card. So he couldn't give me a straight answer. So they may actually take regular debit cards or regular credit cards now. Not that we want that, but just a second thought. Blood thinner. Again, blood thinners, you have a client that had a heart attack or a stroke over 2 years ago, and here we are, over 2 years, he's still on the blood thinner. It's considered maintenance, just like with a lot of the blood thinners with Prosperity and Royal Neighbors. So you can get some people. That's still a pretty cool niche to me. It's something to look at. Standard rates, first day coverage for COPD. So they're preferred. If your client's got COPD, you can give them first day coverage if you give them the standard rates. The standard rates, I looked at a couple customers today, a man and a woman, and in both cases, I can't remember what age I looked up, but their prices beat Liberty Bankers Life and the Ascendo product. Something to think about. Oh, I didn't put it on here, so let me bring this up real quick. Angina. Transamerica has a pretty cool angina thing where if the client's been taking nitroglycerin medication for angina for over 2 years ago, they look at it in the same way as the maintenance. So if it's over 2 years, you can give your client preferred rates. Now, if it's over 1 year, you can give your client standard rates. So I need to probably throw them back on the cheat sheet just because of that alone. That's a scenario that I do tend to run into every now and then, and I've written them for that many times. The preferred rates are super competitively priced. If you have to have a competitively priced company, don't do what some of us do. And I know there's people on this call right now, and you know who I'm talking about because we just had that conversation over and over, who think in their mind, oh, wait, I can get a cheaper company. I better get the cheapest company to my client. If you're thinking like that, you're going to have nothing but issues, just like this person does. So you don't want to do that. It's always about weigh the options. Is the underwriting, am I going to get them approved easily? Then look at the price. To me, that's how I do it. I don't go price first. Now let's try to get them approved, because now you're sending the app to several companies, unless it's a replacement scenario. That's the only time I'm doing that, guys. I'm not writing these people with the cheapest company I can find every time. I am writing them with a company I know I can get them approved with. That'll keep them on the books. To me, that's the order. Approval, keep them on the books, then price. That's my order. You can have your own. That's up to you guys. But I'm telling you, the agent on the call right now, I see you're on there, and you know I'm talking to you. He keeps sending these applications up for the cheapest price company because she really wants to take care of what's best for her seniors. But then what happens is at least half of them she has headaches with. So I don't want you guys to have headaches. I want your life to be easier. Sure, do the best you can for your client. Nothing wrong with that. You put them first. Everything else will take care of itself. Standard rates, they're okay for certain scenarios. Like I said, the COPD scenario. There you go. Love it. Their graded prices, forget it, man. I think they cut your commission down like 30 or 40% anyways. Like they kill you on the commission. That graded product, just write something else if you can. If you can get around it, write something else. Again, to me, the Transamerica product is really not for those of you doing telesales. It's just not. Unless you absolutely need to, you know your client's going to be able to handle, if you're doing a Zoom call with your client, well, then they could probably handle the signature. But if they're having trouble, like even getting off the couch to go get their medication, do the math. Forget about this. Forget about the Transamerica product. It's just, if you're selling it over the phone, it's not going to work. Face to face, we'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll be using them here in the near future. So guys, that's basically it. I just wanted to touch on Transamerica real quick. I hope that everybody got something out of this. If you need the contract, log on to Assurance Bay and request it. And if you need me, you guys have any questions, what have you, you know how to reach me. I hope everybody goes out and kicks some butt this week. That's what I'm talking about. Just whatever you do, do it well, and don't get in any trouble either. Happy hunting.